Hey guys, and welcome back to Okami. We have cleansed the water of Ceuta Ruins, but we're not quite done with our expedition through this place. So, if you take a look at the title, I think we've got shenanigans to look forward to, guys.
We do indeed. I mean, obviously, for starters, we haven't found the dungeon item, major air quotation marks. I should probably just call it the dungeon brush technique, to be fair. So we haven't found that yet, and we haven't found the dog Ume. So, probably need to get on that.
Oh wait, that was actually part of the mandatory, story progression thing and not just a side quest?
Yeah. I mean, the missing dog is the reason we came in here in the first place.
Interesting.
So, the game is very good like that. It gives you a reason to be coming in these dungeons other than collect the MacGuffin. You will always, from what I recall anyway, there's always a very specific reason why you enter these things, and getting the stuff in them is basically sort of a side thing from that.
Mm-hmm.
If you recall us talking about the openness of the dungeon, that little glowy lighty thing there, that signals that we're going to get a loading screen, basically. Because obviously it fades into darkness, and there's that glowy portally thingy. That's your cue that there's a loading screen, but generally they're not that major.
So is this the boss arena now? Because it looks like a boss arena.
Not quite yet. We've still got a ways to go.
I mean, this looks like the boss arena from the Forest Temple in Wind Waker, where you have to fight whatever the fuck that plant thing was called.
Oh. Nope. I only remember the majorly important Zelda bosses. You see this?
Well, give me an example of what you would call majorly important, Mr. Pedant.
Well, majorly important is in kind of famous, i.e. like Goma and Ganondorf.
Goma and Ganon, they're the Zelda staples that you want to look out for. It was Kale Deimos, I think you'll find.
I've been playing a lot of Nier Automata recently, and I don't care about names of things unless I'm doing a commentary. So I care about the names of these enemies right now, but if ever I did a Zelda commentary, then I would have to care. But right now, it's not important.
Fair enough, mate.
But yes, now that we have done that, this place is looking a lot prettier.
Oh yeah.
We've got another constellation.
Oh, bring it forth.
This is going to be the final member of the Hanagami trio.
Oh, right, I was going to ask if it was.
So, this is Susagami, quite fitting considering we're in the Ceuta Ruins. And he's going to give us a very helpful technique, which is obviously in keeping with everything that's going on, like name and so on, because Ceuta means vine. And obviously that's going to give us a vine power, which is really glorious.
Oh, that's amazing.
The brush gods are glorious. There are some which are quite action-packed and awesome, and there's some that are just absolutely hilarious. There's one later on in the second third of the game, which just glorious.
So I'm guessing he's the hear no evil monkey.
Yes, because obviously he's got symbols, so he literally can't hear anything.
Well, he could be that guy in a band who plays the hammer. You ever seen that shit? It's just a guy banging a hammer.
Yeah, I think I have anyway. So, this allows us to vine our way to Konohana Blossoms.
Nice.
So, we draw a line, and we go wee!
I'm just fucking grinding right now.
This is going to allow us to really explore quite a few areas and get to quite major heights.
Nice.
And it's also actually introducing something that we're not really going to properly take note of until a bit later in the game when we start playing with other elements. But you may have noticed that when the brush goes over one of the Konohana blossoms, the ink coming off it gets like green. And basically that is your cue of what brush technique is probably more likely to come out, because there are certain ones which you can draw lines with all of them. So it's just a nice cue to make sure that you're over the right element to be able to pull off what you want to do.
Right.
And we are climbing ever closer to the top of this thing, which you may actually recognise as a thing called a dogu, which are clay figures, small humanoid and animal figurines that were made during the late Jomon period of prehistoric Japan. And they are apparently exclusive to that period, or at least they were.
When I think of like small clay figures or whatnot, I think of gyroids, like the things you find in Animal Crossing.
Well, ultimately, I believe that the gyroids are sort of based on the dogu.
Well, just like more advanced and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, basically, quite a lot of things are based on dogu. I mean, if you remember... oh gosh... Digimon?
Yeah. Well, of course I fucking remember Digimon. What are you on about?
Talking about, it was Digimon Adventure 02.
Okay.
I don't know whether it was just called Dogumon.
There's DNA Digimon, right? The Digivolution.
Yeah, it was the one which was Armadillomon and Patamon joining together.
Yes, yeah.
That design is a Dogu. I can't remember the name of the Digimon for the life of me.
It's kind of like a golem, essentially.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like Ishakumon or something. It's something along those lines. But yeah, the Dogu are very kind of awesome ancient Japanese things, and you will come across them again later down the line. I do quite like this because I kind of messed up in terms of which Konohana Blossom was lifting which thing, but it still worked out in the end. And now, you can probably tell we are getting very, very close to the boss right now, because we've got all of these little statues, which are definitely from the same thing that the gyroids are based on.
Definitely, yeah.
And actually, I'm going to double check exactly what the thing that the gyroids are based on now, because it's going to drive me potty. But yes, obviously this is very much a thing which is going to lead us to the boss, because they're just giving us everything and a save point and all that jazz. That's it. So the gyroids are based on Haniwa, which are terracotta clay figures.
There you go.
So not the Dogu, but the Dogu do influence quite a lot of things.
Oh, this is ominous.
Yes, it's very, very, very ominous. Quite nice that they're giving us healing items, because there's a chance you might need them. I wouldn't say this boss fight's that difficult, but I would certainly recommend being prepared. And also, it's quite nice to know about godhood, because obviously it doesn't really get properly described until now. And it will prove sort of useful in the battle to come.
Well, you want to be the godliest god that ever got a god, you know?
Well, exactly, yes. Sod these schools, I don't care who died here, they're just going to give me items.
Oh, well, you know, their loss is my gain, I suppose.
So, let's run through the portal and head in.
First boss hype.
Of course we're ready to go in and take down the boss.
No, I'm not. Game over. End of Okami.
So, this is a golden gate. Basically, this allows us to have a quick save of sorts.
Oh, that's good.
So, if ever you die in battle, then it'll bring you back to this point.
Yeah, Eason's basically already said everything, mate, so don't reset the game if you don't want to have your progress wiped, is what it's saying.
Essentially, yes.
Oh, Army. I could have done without the butthole shot, thank you very much. Shut up, you tart. Oh.
Danger is afoot.
I'm just going to pretend like I don't know what type of creature we're going to be fighting is. That shit looks evil. I don't think that... Oh, that's not a flower!
That's definitely not a flower. And if you look very carefully, you may notice that there's a little doggy in there.
Oh. Oh, Jesus fucking Amaterasu! Whoa, I don't know whether that's goofy or amazing.
It's both.
Alright then, let's rumble. I'm excited now.
I'm basically just going to stay silent and let you enjoy this cutscene because they're generally always amazing.
Ah, that's good direction for you, I suppose. Orochi fanboys, so precious.
Well, actually, an Orochi fangirl.
Yes, you know what I meant.
This is the Spider Queen. And, I mean, just look at her, she's terrifying.
I don't know where to start on the creepiness, but the face is definitely disconcerting.
I know. I mean, there's loads of really cool stuff to do with the Spider Queen. So, I mean, for starters, her Japanese name is Jorogumo, which literally translates to prostitute spider or noblewoman spider.
Okay.
Which is quite hilarious. In the art book, it's actually said that she has a human form, but it's never seen.
Probably for the best.
And her design is based on Sadako from the Japanese movie Ringu.
Oh yeah, of course.
The original Japanese version of The Ring. So basically she obviously looks like Samara, which I think goes some way to making her really creepy.
I love how, like, even though Ami is a quadruped, she still does like the brushing off the sweat before getting into battle kind of gesture.
I know, like, you'd think that Ami being a relatively anatomically correct wolf would mean that she can't be hugely animated in terms of how she responds to things, but despite the fact that Ami never speaks, she's easily one of the best characters in the game because she's got so much sass.
Oh yeah.
It's unreal.
So how did you tackle the Spider Queen when you first played the game, mate? Difficulty rating out of 10, same as I asked you for the dungeon itself.
I mean, difficulty rating probably a 2. I mean, there is potential for difficulty here if you aren't very good at causing damage and if you don't realise when to get the hell out of the way. But really, she's not a problem because all it is open up her butt and go in for the kill on the eyes. It's basically the way to take her down.
That's one for the Richie compilation.
If you make use of power slashes, then really she ain't going to stand much of a chance. What's quite funny though is that if we had a different power, we'd be able to defeat her a hell of a lot quicker. Because there's an element that I'm pretty sure that she's weak to that we don't have the ability to use at present.
Alright, stop spinning. This is what I hate about bosses like this, even if they are easy. Sometimes they'll just get to like a phase where it's like, oh, I don't want to allow myself to be opened up to attack, so they'll just keep shifting their position.
Yeah, it can get slightly frustrating. I mean, as you can see, the Spider Queen is very unlikely to pull off most of her moves, other than, you know, dropping things on your head. And sometimes it is entirely a case of just getting the camera angle right to attach the Konohana blossoms to her bum butt.
Bum butt?
Well, bum bud, I should probably say. But really, the Spider Queen is nothing to write home about. I mean, design-wise, freaking amazing.
Oh yeah, amazing, yeah.
Atmosphere-wise, bloody awesome. But difficulty-wise, not really. And she is out of there.
Lovely. Oh, and beauty finally comes back truly to the Ceuta Ruins.
Indeed. And now we get a lovely bit of narration.
Oh, doggo.
Because obviously, if you're paying attention to the start of the game, this is being narrated by someone in the future.
Oh.
Because this person is telling the story of Amaterasu, and so we'll get these moments where you get the omniscient narrator, which is really quite a nice touch because it does really seriously echo those old stories, like if you're talking about medieval romances and that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got that real classic folktale vibe about it. And we have a new reflector.
That looks amazing.
I know. So, this is the Snarling Beast. And obviously it's more powerful than what we have at the minute, and we will most definitely be equipping it very soon.
Oh yeah. Yes, defeating monsters is good in of itself, but if it gives me sweet weapons, I'll get there twice as fast and defeat them just that much more.
Exactly. And clearly, yes, this is Ume. And we are going to take him back to Kokari, but first we get the glorious victory hell.
The sun rises. Nicely done, mate. That was pretty slick, but we're done now, so get over it, and we'll see you next time in Okami.